Okay, friends, let's start with the session. Today we would be talking about relative motion, friends. Now let's understand what the concept of relative motion is. Say, for example, a person is traveling in a train. So you can see the person is moving forward with some velocity. Whatever is the velocity of that person is with respect to the train. Say, for example, whatever the velocity of the train would be, the same velocity would be for the person who's traveling in that train. But when the same person looks outside the window, he or she feels the compound wall moving backward with some velocity. So this type of motion we call it as relative motion. Because the observer is in the train, the observer will feel that the wall is moving backward. But if the same observer stands on the ground and the observer is outside the train, standing on the ground and watching this wall, so with respect to that case, the wall is at standstill, it is not moving. So the motion is a relative concept basically. It will depend on the perception of the observers. And today we are going to understand relative motion in greater details because we would be applying concept of relative motion for solving problems. All right, friends. So see to it that you have understood this. Once you have noted down this slide, please let me know. We move ahead. Okay, so this is a picture which actually makes you visualize what relative motion would be. Okay, yeah. So here starts the concept of relative motion, friends. Let's move ahead. Let's try to put it in form of some equations then. But before we deal with equations, let's have some views basically which will make the concept of relative motion more clearer to us. Yeah. You can see there's another picture over here. Obviously you can see the train, the car is moving forward, but the other car will appear to move backward with more velocity as compared to what it is moving. The surroundings would move. You can see this car is moving forward. Comparatively, the surroundings appear to move backward with the same speed at which the car is moving, say 100 km per hour. So with respect to the person in the car, the tunnel also, the upper side of the tunnel will also move backward with the speed. So that's the concept of relative motion. Make a note of it before we move ahead. So why I am showing you these pictures, because these pictures will make you realize, or you can say, they will make you understand or imagine what relative motion is. Okay, let's proceed further. People say done. Let's move ahead then. Yeah, let's talk about the rotation of Earth. Say for example, the person may be stationary on the Earth, but for a person who is observing the person on the Earth from the moon, basically the person who was stationary on the Earth, as per the person viewing it from the moon, the person would be moving with this speed. That is the rotation of Earth, you can see. But for another person who is on the Earth, viewing the same person on the Earth, he may feel that person is stationary. So that's how relative motion is to be analyzed and the problems are to be solved. Please make a note of it. And we have seen the previous cases what the inertial frame is. If you attach a frame of reference to Earth, we will consider that as inertial frame, friends. All right. So this is how relative motion is to be understood. Okay. Let's move ahead then. Let's talk about more pictures over here. Here you can see when we talk about relative motion, the velocity of Earth's orbit will be different with respect to different planets. Say for example, Earth may be moving with a different velocity with respect to this planet. The velocity value will change with respect to this planet and so on. So it will depend on planet to planet. Okay, that's what relative motion is all about. Okay, because we relate the two observers moving in this case. Hopefully I've noted this down. So we'll move ahead then, friends. You keep on notifying it in the chat section so I come to know once you're done with it. Okay, let's move ahead then. Hopefully done. Yeah, and that's fine. Let's move ahead then. Now let's talk about the motion. Okay, so here you can see the car is moving with a speed of say 100 kilometers per hour. But for the person who's sitting in the car, this particular marks on the road would be moving backwards with some speed as per the concept of relative motion. You can see. Yeah. So when I say the car is moving at 100 kilometer per hour, the car is moving at 100 kilometer per hour with respect to Earth. With respect to Earth, the car is moving at 100 kilometer per hour. But if the observer was not on the Earth and had he been on the moon, then you can see the same car would move with a speed of 1700 kilometer per hour. And even if that car was not moving, still it would appear for the person on the moon that the car is moving at 1700 kilometer per hour because the person is in the non-inertial frame then, friends. All right, so this is how you're supposed to imagine. But if the observer is on the earth, then for him this speed will be 100 kilometer per hour. So that's how you're supposed to understand relative motion, friends. Please make a note of this also. Okay, hopefully done. Most of you say yes. Good job, friends. So let's proceed then. Okay. Now let's have a comparison basically. Yeah. You can see if the train is in inertial frame of reference, you can see the ball no longer has horizontal velocity because the person is holding the ball and he is in the wagon. You can see. All right, because the train is in inertial frame of reference, you can talk about the ball won't have any horizontal velocity. Just because the train is moving, the ball won't move on its own. But for a person who is observing this person holding the ball from the ground, he will feel that the ball is also moving with the speed with which the train is moving. So that's how the perception changes when you try to interpret, or try to analyze relative motion, ongoing motion between the two objects. Please make a note of this. So you can see these slides are self-explanatory in the initial stages, and they will help us in making things clearer for us. So hopefully you understood that perception. Okay, the person in the wagon, train bogie, won't feel that the ball is moving, but the person who is standing on the ground will feel that the ball and the person in the train will move. Okay, so hopefully you have understood this concept. Yeah, so most of you say done. Let's move ahead. Let's proceed with the discussion, friends. Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you. The observer who is on the ground, the ball will have the same horizontal velocity as that of train. So for this observer who is inside the train, the ball is not moving. But for this observer, the ball will move. He will imagine the motion of the ball in this sense. Please make a note of it and let me know. That's why motion is a relative concept, and we have to analyze relative motion for solving problems, friends. Yeah, very good. So let's move ahead then. Yeah. Then here comes the correlation. Okay, so we whatever we were talking about motion, it's all about Galilean relativity or relative motion. Then slowly it gets linked to the concept of relativity as per Einstein. Okay, how that happens, that is something which we are supposed to study in entire 2 years time. Okay, hopefully I've noted this down. Okay, how they get related, correlated. Okay, so let's proceed forward then. Yeah, friends. So now these are certain questions which may come in our mind. How can we pretend that the car is not moving even if the car is moving, because everything is moving? It's all, so the answer is it's all a relative concept. It will depend upon observer to observer, situation to situation. It will depend upon which frame of reference you are in, whether inertial frame or non-inertial frame. So if you all recall and remember, we have discussed inertial frame and non-inertial frame. Okay. For all those who were not there when we discussed it, I'll share the recordings with you. Okay, in the later stages. Hopefully, I've noted this down, friend. So this is why we are supposed to pretend that the car is not moving at times. Okay, so let's move ahead. Yeah. Here you can see, if the train car is in inertial frame, the ball has only vertical motion. You can observe this. The person on in the train will analyze the motion of the ball only in vertical direction. But if the person was on the ground, obviously I told you how the motion would look like. So you can see this is the person on the ground, and for him the motion is not vertical. The motion will be somewhat like this in a parabolic nature. We will study this type of motion in the later stages. But what I was trying to tell you is, if the person who is in the train wagon or train car, you can say, the only vertical motion would be realized by him for the ball. Please make a note of it. These are picture slides, but they are self-explanatory at times. Okay. Once you are done with it, let me know. We move ahead then. Okay. Okay. Great, friends. Say done. Most of you say done. Let's move ahead then. Yeah. Now you can see a difference of say 50 kilometer per hour won't be of much value when it comes to relative motion being considered with respect to universe. So planet to planet relative motion, you know, this speed 50 kilometer per hour won't be a big deal in that case. But if you observe, friends, what I mean to say over here is, if you try to observe, okay, in this case, this 50 kilometer per hour would make no difference when you try to analyze the motion of, Earth and other planets in the solar system, say for example. But the difference of 50 kilometer per hour will definitely make a difference. You know, you can see when, what I mean to say is, when a police is trying to catch a person, okay, on the earth, okay, for that motion, for that relative motion, 50 kilometer per hour will make a big deal. Okay, here it won't make a big deal for the universe. Let's proceed further, friends. So what can be assumption for us? Our assumption then is our planet is a good inertial frame basically. So somebody who's observing us from the moon, maybe that person would be in non-inertial frame of reference for us. So let's proceed further then. You can see. So velocity of the Milky Way through the universe is 230 kilometer per second, I'm saying. So for this speed, the previous speed 50 kilometer per hour won't make any difference. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, friends. Let's say what is important then. Okay. So first of all, we need to understand whether we are able to assign the frame of references to discuss motion. We should be in a position to think about whether we are discussing inertial frame of reference or non-inertial frame of reference. And even if the cases are of non-inertial frame of reference, we should be in a position to assign inertial frame corresponding to that motion. Okay, friends, let's move ahead then. So here in this picture, you can see the person and the plane are moving through the universe at roughly the same speed. So what I mean to say is somebody is watching these two motions, okay, the person and the plane from moon or Mars, you can say. For the person on the Mars, the speed of the observer over here and the plane is same. But for the observer on the Earth, the plane is moving with considerably larger speed. That's what I mean to say over here, okay? Please make a note of this slide. Again, self-explanatory slide. Please give me the feedback, okay? If you are done with it, we will move ahead. Yeah, so most of you say done. So let's proceed further then, friends. Okay, fine. So this is again the same slide which I was talking about. So to the observer, the ball has the same horizontal velocity as the train. Okay, yeah, this time. So Earth, any frame of reference attached to Earth, we can consider it as inertial frame of reference. Okay, just give me a moment. And what did I say? That speed won't make any difference for a person observing us from a different planet. But 50 kilometer per hour makes a big difference for a traffic cop who's trying to catch a culprit, isn't it? So that's how it has to be interpreted, friends. So hopefully the concept of relative motion is clear to you. See, I have just given you an imagination how to imagine the concept. We have not discussed anything about the analysis, friends, as of now. So are we all ready for the analysis? Please let me know if you are in a position or you have actually visualized what the concept of relative motion. Then we proceed further. So most of you say yes. That means the concept of relative motion is quite clearer to you so far as the imagination is concerned. Now the same imagination is to be applied to solve problems. Okay. Now slowly we will start dealing with some equations and then the problems. So let's proceed then. So here is a question for you people. You can see Chintu and Mintu. We are talking about these two persons. Okay. Chintu is moving due east with a velocity of 1 meter per second. All right. And Mintu is moving due west with a velocity of 2 meter per second. So what is the velocity of Chintu with respect to Mintu? So they are moving towards each other in a way. Okay, if we try to put it in form of a diagram or a picture, you will realize these two are moving towards each other in a way. Okay, one is moving towards east, other is moving towards west, and one is moving with a velocity of 1 meter per second, other is moving with a velocity of 2 meter per second. And what are we supposed to estimate? We are supposed to estimate the velocity of Chintu with respect to Mintu. Hopefully I have noted down this problem so that we start discussing the solution further. Please let me know once you are done with it. Yeah, friends. So most of you say done. Yeah. Okay. Now here in this case, let's put it in form of vectors. Okay. We will consider the concept of relative motion over here only along a straight line. Okay. That means we are just discussing one dimensional motion over here, friends. Okay. So let's proceed then. Okay. We are going to apply the concept of relative motion over here. So let's proceed further. So frame of reference, say we will consider the frame of reference as min2. So velocity of Chintu with respect to min2 will be represented as v of c with respect to m. You can see. This is how you represent relative velocity. Okay. Velocity of Chintu with respect to min2. And how you work it out? You have the formula for it. Okay, so velocity of Chintu was given to you as Vc equal to 1 meter per second, and velocity of Mintu was given as 2 meter per second, but they were moving towards each other. So this is one dimensional motion which we are trying to analyze. This is the given situation, and what we are supposed to you know select, we are supposed to select some frame. So frame of reference, if we select Mintu, then in that case velocity of Chintu with respect to Mintu will be given as VCM. Had the frame of reference be Chintu, then in that case the velocity would have been, MC in that case. Velocity of Mintu with respect to Chintu in that case. Okay. So let's try to put it in form of an equation. Please make a note of this given data, and then I show you the solution how to work it out. Once you are done with it, put it in the feedback section so that I come to know you're done with it. Yeah, so most of you say done. So here what we can do, yeah. So let's talk about two things. Okay, say instead of Chintu and Mintu, we generalize it to A and B. Okay, so relative velocity of A with respect to B can be represented as VAB. Okay, and that will be VA minus VB. Okay, always remember. Similarly, relative acceleration, if you want, of A with respect to B, then it will be represented as small a suffix AB, where it would be equated to acceleration of A minus acceleration of B. Now, if you want to change the order, okay, that means instead of VAB, you want to put it as BA. When you put it as BA, what it means? You are talking about relative velocity of B with respect to A. That means here the frame of reference is A, here the frame of reference is B. So the only difference would be they would be oppositely ordered, you can say. Therefore, this equation comes into picture. Alright, friends. Similar is the case for accelerations also. So we want to utilize all this while solving problems. Okay. So hopefully you have noted this down, friends. Yeah. So I consider you are done with it. Let's move ahead then. We will try solving problems based on this. Yeah. So here you can see if the frame of reference I consider it as min2, then velocity of Chintu with respect to min2 will be velocity of Chintu minus velocity of min2. But velocity of Chintu was 1 meter per second. So I have considered as 1 minus velocity of Mintu is 2, but he is moving opposite to Chintu. So I won't consider it as plus 2. I will consider it as minus 2 because he is moving along negative x-axis. So the relative velocity between the two would be 1 plus 2, that is 3. This is how you're supposed to solve the problem. So in a way, if they approach towards each other, even if one is moving with 1, other is moving with 2, the relative velocity between the two would be 3. That's what I wanted to say. Hopefully you have understood this. Please make a note of understanding in the feedback section. These are the concepts which we are going to use while solving problems, friends. Yeah. The important thing over here is to note, okay, in the formula, why I have taken 2 as minus. Because if this direction I am considering positive, exactly opposite direction I will consider it as negative. Because velocity is a vector quantity, friends. So this is how you are supposed to interpret. Yeah. So let's proceed then. So again, in terms of relative concept, like how we need to analyze it, okay. So say Ram is of height 5'6" basically, and his wife, uh, her height is say 5'4". So how tall is, you can see how tall would be Ram with respect to his wife, okay. So if you want the answer to this, then in that case, obviously the answer will be 2 inches. Okay, with respect to his wife, he is 2 inches tall. This is how you need to analyze the concept of relative motion, friends. Hopefully you have noted this down. Let's move ahead. Okay, so most of you say done. Okay, good. Yeah, let's proceed then, friends. Yeah, this is how you get that answer. Okay,